Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm so excited to share with you this look using a few different upcoming trends for spring and summer 2026. We are going back to the 2000s, my youth, and I am so excited to share this with you because this is the type of look I would see in the different magazines and be absolutely in love with, and it's pretty easy to do. And let's get right into this video. I've already done my foundation, and for your complexion, the big trend we're seeing for spring summer 2026 is something different sources are referring to as Pilates skin. So essentially it's like your freshly moisturized skin, but better with that post Pilates glow. So you are looking for something that either has a softly luminous finish or something that has a little bit more of a soft matte finish. I chose the House Labs Triclone Skin Tech Foundation because this looks like my skin with just a little bit of glow. There are so many foundations on the market. Find one that makes your skin look like your skin slightly elevated. Now, the tricky thing is, how do we set our makeup so it lasts without taking away the glow? My favorite way is to do that with baked powders. You can either use a baked pressed powder like a MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural, or a baked powder foundation like the Laura Geller Baked Balance and Brighten, which is what I have here. When I'm using a baked mineral powder, I like these because they are baked on little tiles as a cream. The powder itself is slightly more moisturizing to the skin, and it doesn't take away the natural glow of the skin like a loose powder can. When I'm doing this, I like to work in two different ways. Starting with my brush, blend out my foundation and my concealer around my eyes, followed up with my makeup sponge. This is just make sure everything is laying nice and smooth. And I'm gonna use a triangle puff with my baked powder. I'm gonna swirl in and then remove and blend it into my hand. That way only the minimum amount of powder is on my sponge, and I'm going to use this just to lightly set. And when I'm working with two shades, I like to think about where I would contour or highlight, or if you're someone like me who is going through a gender affirming feminizing journey, where I want the light to hit once I have some different aesthetic procedures done. So I want this center portion of my face to look plump and bright, and then I want the outer perimeters to look smaller and more recessed, so my head looks smaller and it looks a little bit more shapely. So what I like to do is keep the lighter portion here in almost like a little oblong shape, keeping the light here on the center portion of my face. I'm gonna go ahead and get my powder on my puff, and then I'm gonna blend over the other side. And if you're someone who isn't going through a gender affirming journey and you're wondering, would a tip like this serve you, keeping the powder here? Yes, it would work if you want to make the face look a little bit more cute, because it's gonna help bring the light in and create an optical illusion to make the face look a little bit more petite. So when we're working with some of these more colorful trends, it will make everything just feel a little bit more dolly-like, or like a Bratz doll. So the big eyes, big lips, and then like a more rounded, youthful face shape. It's just a way to play with your color and create a new effect with your makeup. And if you want to be totally fuss-free, then you can just stick with one shade of powder all over. But if you have multiple shades, have fun, use your products. You can see on the palm of my hand where I'm working the powder, there's this little bit of a glow. That is just going to kind of show you how this is setting my skin, but it's not taking away the glow. And the shade I just used was the Laura Geller Baked Balance and Brighten in the shade Porcelain. For the outer portion of my face where I want a little bit more depth, I am going to use the shade Air, and that looks like this. For my skin tone, this shade is a little too dark. It's almost like a really nice subtle bronzer. You can see on the puff, it's quite deep for being a fair shade. So I like to work it on my hand and then just set the other parts of my face. I'll even take a little bit on the sides of my nose to act like a contour. And then just for good measure, for a cohesive color, take whatever's left on my neck, and you can even take it over the eyelids, because this will give you a really beautiful base for any color we are gonna apply later. Let's move into adding color to our look. The next trend we're gonna take a look at is a trend for eyes. And I cannot tell you how excited I was for this trend. So one of the big trends is bright pastels on the eyes, and immediately my mind jumped all the way back to 2008 when I was in high school. I was working at a restaurant as a host, and there was a girl there who was a server. She had the most magical eyeshadow. It was nothing special, but in my mind at 18, I thought it was absolutely magical. And she always wore a bright, shimmery blue on the eyes with a little bit of brown to shape it out. And one of the big trends is these bright pastel colors. She came to my mind, and we are going to do a pastel blue eyeshadow look today with a 2026 twist. For this look, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sugar Mini Eyeshadow Palette, and we're going to be focusing on this beautiful blue. Now, with these Y2K trends, something I love is the nostalgia. And when I'm thinking about growing up in that time frame, being absolutely obsessed. That's a word I don't use often, but back then I was absolutely in love with Glamour, Cosmo, Vogue, Allure magazine, and all the different trends. And something with makeup is it wasn't overly structured, it wasn't fussy. So there's no need to carve out a new crease or anything like that. It's almost slap and dash. So we are gonna use this blue eyeshadow here and create a very of the time but modernized look. So using a flat brush, I'm gonna tilt my chin back and I'm going to press, press, press. I'm gonna keep this more so on the inner half of my lid and then just slightly pull it over. I didn't want to do a base eyeshadow because the base might make this color feel too opaque, and that can be a look all in itself. But to keep this more light and airy and spring-like, I want to keep it a little bit more easy, a little bit more laid back, because blue can be such an intimidating shade. So the more we add to it, the more fussy it might look. If we keep it a little bit more simple, more relaxed, it's gonna feel a little bit more effortless, or as effortless as blue eyeshadow can feel. Sometimes when we're working with these bright iridescents, it can feel a little one-sided. So I like to look a little bit further ahead and finesse the final look to make sure I'm getting the look I want from afar. And it's also good for making sure your pigment load on both sides, or the opacity of the shades, is a little bit more balanced. Now I want to ground this look, and to ground this look I need to add some shape and structure. I am going to use this matte rosy brown in the palette, and I'm going to use a little bit more of a small defining crease brush, and we are going to keep it super simple. Don't worry about being overly prescriptive with your placement. We are going to stamp on the outer half, and then whatever is left on our brush, we are going to map out and stamp on the shape that we want our eyes to take, and then wiggle to blend. When set's on, I'm going to go with a large fluffy blending brush and work on blending, pulling through that shadow. Really want to focus on the seam between the two shadows. I want them to have their own identity, but I want a little bit of a gradient between the two, so that way it doesn't feel too stark or abrupt. A little bit more to the side. So looking ahead, I just like how the other side has a little bit more opacity to it. I'm going to use my flat brush again, and I'm going to use the shimmer shade here. This is almost like a minty silver on the inner corner to give it that Y2K frosty pop. Overall, that's the eyeshadow look. You can add eyeliner if you want to. We're definitely gonna add some mascara later on. This look is pretty simple. It's about a simple wash of color, diffuse, and then you add your structure or shaping shade to just make it a little bit more of you. Add some fun, wing it out, make it a little bit more rounded, create the look and shape that you want so it feels most like you, so you can feel your most confident. To add a little shape, I am going to use the Can Make Creamy Touch eyeliner number 11, and this is like a really nice smoky gray brown, and I'm going to use this to do a very simple tight line. While the liner is freshly applied, I'm going to use the little brush and just smooth right over it. In the 2000s, we were all about a smudgy eyeliner. I want that smudged effect because it's going to help ground the eye look, but it's not going to feel as smudgy as it was back then. And then to make sure everything is how I want it, after I do the liner, I like to use my eyeshadow brush just to smooth over, and then I can even go through and just pat right over the seam, so that way my blue stays the focus. Now I'm gonna give my lashes a curl. And then you can go either big with the lashes or keep them a little bit more subtle. Since the blue is a lot on the eyes, I'm gonna use a little bit more of a lengthening and defining. This is the Essence Lash Without Limits mascara. And I'm just gonna use this to give a just fine coat to the lashes. That is our finished eye look. So now let's go through and add some color to the rest of our face. I want my lips to be the secondary focus of the look, so we'll keep the cheeks as like a harmonizing feature. For the lips, one of the big trends has been this blurry, lived-in K-beauty inspired lip popularized by the makeup artist Nina Park. And today I'm gonna show you how to do my interpretation of the look while playing into this pastel trend. So I'm gonna start with a lip stain, and this is one of my favorites from a K-beauty brand. This is the new release or new formula of the Roman Juicy Lasting Tint, number 28 Snow Strawberry. If you are someone who loves a pastel pink, you need this. You need this. And when I'm applying this, instead of working in a mirror that's up close, I like to look a little bit further away because I have the habit of when I'm looking up close, I want to make my lip line crisp, but I want to slowly layer this, a more soft focus effect to my lip. And then once I have it on, I use my finger, blend it out a little bit. So that way, now I have a stain. This lip look can be a little fleeting, so I like to add a base layer to it, so that way it stays on for longer. Next thing I'm gonna do is I want to blur specific parts of my lip. This is from the brand Dewy, and this is the Mood Blur Lip Pencil in the shade number 5 Ink Shoe. One of the things with K-beauty, they're still very much an overlined lip, but it's done in a more sneaky way. So using something that is more akin to a bridge between your skin tone and the color of your lips, you want to use a color like this, and this pink shade is going to do that for me. So tuck my lips in and then line right under the fullest points of my lip. Use my finger just to soften it out. And this is gonna be really subtle, but it's just going to create the illusion of pulling the lips further apart. So that way they take up more space visually on the face. This is optional, but this is something I like to do. I want to ground the look with something a little bit deeper. e.l.f. Cream Glide Lip Liner in the shade Mauve Aside. And this is gonna be a little bit deeper, a little bit more rosy to help contour the shape. And for this, if you want to apply your liner all over the lip shape, you can. Just don't go too far outside the line. Let this pink shade that you use go about halfway where you want with that shade. And then use my fingers just to blend. And I like to almost blend like I'm pushing things into the center. And now my lips just feel a little less milky pastel. And it's gonna also keep the teeth looking a little bit brighter because now there's more contrast. Because when we go too pastel lips, it can make the teeth look almost like a gray yellow. So if you wanna offset that, just add a little bit of a definition to create contrast with the whites of your teeth. The step that's gonna really set off and make this lip look feel more of that Y2K pastel is a frosty lipstick. I have loved this shade from L'Oreal's Color Riche line Ballet Slippers, number 135, for several years now. And what I like about this, it's like a lip gloss and a lipstick if you apply it lightly. So I'm gonna swatch this for you. L'Oreal Color Riche 135 Ballet Slippers. Let me show you some other ones I have in my collection. The first one is also from the L'Oreal Color Riche line. I purchased this a while ago when I was in the UK at Superdrug. This is the shade number 303 Rose Tender, and I think it's just the UK version of Ballet Slippers because they look almost identical. Ballet Slippers has a little tiny bit more warmth than the 303 shade. Another shade I love is from Maybelline. This is in number 015, Born With It, from the Color Sensational line. This is gonna be a little bit more mauve. Then we have a newer favorite, which I'm in love with, Rimmel Lasting Finish Lipstick in shade number 002 Candy. And this is going to be possibly the lightest and most pearlized shade. And then one I've had in my collection for quite a while that I really love. This is a CoverGirl lipstick in the shade number 035 Smoky Rose. And this is gonna almost be something similar to an old MAC lipstick called Bombshell with a little less pearl. I think I'm gonna go for the Rimmel number 02 Candy. Since we have these different layers, you're gonna have to build this up, but I like to focus it more so on the center of the lip. Sometimes at this step, I will go back in with the lip liner just to add more contrast. blend it out. Optional, but I always love adding a gloss for that little extra touch. And I caved. I purchased the new limited edition Fenty Wattabrat shade. It's good. I hope they make this shade permanent, because it just finishes off the look. And now we are ready to be an extra in a Zara Larsson music video, which makes me so happy. We are going to finish the look off with the cheeks, and I want to pull everything together. So to start, I want to use a very softly blurring highlighter. This is the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in the shade Lightscapade. And I'm just going to use a big fluffy brush. This is a Real Techniques blush brush. Just going to take a little bit here on the high points because I want to create a light reflecting backdrop. Offset the coolness of the pastels. I want to use a bronzer, and if you're someone who's very fair, very cool tone, and all bronzers go really warm on you, find a powder foundation 1-2 shades deeper and then mix it with a blush, which we're going to do next, and then you can layer on your regular blush. But I'm going to use a bronzer. This is the Laura Geller Baked Bronze in Brighten in the shade Fair, and if you're neutral cool tone, this is a really lovely shade. I'm going to apply it a little bit more horizontally on the higher parts of my cheeks, a little bit on the high point of my chin, nose, and then over the forehead. And then this shade will just help to tie in with the color I applied in the crease. So we'll just finish it right there. It's a very subtle wash of color to the skin, but it just helps tie everything together. Blush placement is almost like a sunburn blush, and it's a trend that we've been seeing come back and back over the last few years. So one of my favorite shades for most skin tones that range from cool to neutral, and you're not someone who really tan, so you always have a little bit of a burn. I love the Bobbi Brown powder blush in the shade Desert Pink. Same brush. I like to get a fair amount of blush for this technique, and I'm going to take it off. We want to focus on creating a W. So it's almost, imagine you're starting here because the sun would burn us here, and then graze over the top of the cheek. And then just to keep it feeling a little bit more realistic, chin, forehead. This is our spring trend Y2K Pilates skin sun flushed cheek look. We need to finish off with a fragrance. It's springtime in a bottle. This is the Burberry Her Eau de Toilette. This is a very juicy, bright floral pear. It is a spring morning wrapped into a bottle. It is an EDT. I find you get about 3, maybe 4 hours, but I have the smaller size, so I can just tuck it in my bag, go about my day, and you just smell like an herbal essence commercial. It is so bright and uplifting. It's fresh, it's happy, and it just ties everything together so beautifully. As you can tell, I'm very excited by today's look and how it came together. Will you be trying out any of these trends? Let me know, especially like the pastel frosty lips and the eyes. Are you ready to go back to like 2008, 2010? I'm very much living for the nostalgia. I'm gonna go listen to the Britney Spears Blackout album and just have a blast. We might even get a mochaccino or whatever from Starbucks. Let me know your thoughts if you're gonna try these looks out, and I will see you in the next video. Until we see each other again, take care of yourself wherever you're in the world, and I will see you later. Bye, y'all.